All right, so I wanted to do a full disclaimer of like what I was gonna play in this league for the league start, and it's gonna be animated weapon for sure. Now, it's not a complete build guide. You guys have to keep that in mind. It's just something I've put together for the league start. I know it's gonna work. I know it's going to be awesome. I just don't know how to min max it yet. So you guys are gonna have to wait for the full build guide for that. But I plan on playing full time for the next like 5 to 6 days. So I'll probably be fairly more advanced than most people, and I'll probably be able to put that out before you guys get to that level. For let's hope so. But if you guys start tomorrow, like everybody else, for the start of the league, and you want to have some direction on what I will do and what I think will be the strongest, it's going to be animated weapon. Now I'm going to talk a bit about it and why I think it's going to be the strongest. There are a couple funky thing in the patch note that made me think that there's going to be like ones that might be powerful, some shenanigans with Archmage support, a couple of things that could be really overpowered or at least have some cool mechanics that we can use in our builds, but they require some testing. What will not require testing is animated weapon. I know it's going to be strong. I just don't know how much strong, like how strong it's going to be, because it's mainly the only untouched, if not buffed, summoner skill. Now it has the physical gem tag, so we can use a cold iron point dagger with it, and I'm going full physical for this build. Why? Because I can hear people in the comments saying, hey, you can go elemental conversion. It's going to be even stronger if you go fizz to cold. Look, I'm not arguing it won't be stronger. It might be stronger. I don't know. It's just at this stage, early league, fizz to cold conversion, especially for a minion build, it's a pain in the dick. It requires specific gauntlets. The Triad one, it requires some specific gear. It's more of a hassle to have a similar DPS. I'm planning to have this thing around 10 million early league. That's what my math bring me, but I don't want to put it out there in case my math is so wrong. But I'm thinking this thing is going to be around 10 million without crazy investment. Especially if we're assuming that more level in the gem equals more weapons. This is going to be my main set for the early league. I haven't put too much detail. Okay, I just threw it out there to give me a guideline, so I don't like throw it off after 20 hours of playing the game and not knowing where I am. I just want to have like a basis to know where I'm supposed to go. And I might switch this for Skin of the Loyal. I might just not buy any Cold Iron Point because they're going to be too expensive early league. I have no idea what it's going to be like. But it has the physical gem skill tag, and I want to go for full fizz, the full physical meta with what's it called? Sorry, it's late here. With Impale, because the Impale mechanics is very, very strong, and I think that if I do lack some damage, Impale is just gonna take over and do half the job for me, so I don't have to actually like invest into damage. Like Impale is going to take care of it for the boss. Because one thing people didn't notice is that Metamorph was still there. All right, all the problems we had last league with the Metamorphs being too strong, they haven't been nerfed, at least in the patch note, and they're just going to be there again with new content. They're going to be rarer, and they give you a fuck ton more currency and loot that you would get from other similar type of content. And so you want to be able to kill those Metamorphs. And if you don't have a build that can do it at early game, you're going to be at a huge disadvantage. That's why I'm going for animated weapon. I do think it's going to be a great league starter. So yeah, I strongly advise you guys to start with that. I'm going to put out some updates on the build the further I advance in the league. So just stay put, keep in touch. If like you have any questions, you can always ask in the comment. I'm going to show quickly what I was thinking about. I think I'm going to go for Brutality, Minion Damage, Impale, Feeding Frenzy, Awaken Multi-Strike, and probably Awaken Melee Splash because the clear is going to be shit without it. Chain, okay, Also, real quick, chain of commands. I know what it is. It's basically, it was mandatory in the past if you wanted to play animated weapons. If you didn't have the chest chain of command, you just couldn't play it because it was too clunky. You couldn't summon the maximum amount of sword you could get. But I think we won't need it. I'm not sure if it really gives me a boost in clear speed and even maybe in damage. I haven't calculated yet. I will try chain of command. I hope we don't need it because I think it's kind of retarded to block an entire skill gem around one armor. But I think GGG did a good job with the remake of this skill and we won't need it. So I'm going to try without chain of command because with 14, I think the maximum is 14 sword you can get. With the level I plan to get on it, I think I should go around 20 swords. I think it's summonable. Like, you could easily map with 15 sword and then get to the boss and get like 20 swords. But I could be wrong. Like, this is all in testing phase. I'm gonna go for Pride, Dread Banner, Precision, and Skitterbots, Flesh and Stone if I have the mana reserve space, because I'm currently running Victario's Influence. I don't know if I'm gonna have it at some point in the league. I have no idea what it's going to look like. Animated Guardian later in the game, like, do not play this early. It's not worth investing anything in it. Spectre are always great to get. It's free frenzy charges, free power charges, minion life and power if you can. Bladefall to summon your Bladefall and your and use your animated weapon on it, but I might swap this for a like a Cyclone Caswell channeling and put it in there. I just don't know if it's gonna be better. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna want to use like flesh out or like self-cast Bladefall, or if I'm just gonna cast it. I have no idea. It requires some testing. I'm gonna be streaming, so if you guys like want to know as soon as possible, probably after a day I'll know like what's the best option to go for. Just try to peek at the stream. Maybe I'll be there and I'll be able to answer a question. Convocation and Summon Carrion Golem is absolutely not mandatory. I'll probably skip it, but I've put it there because if I do have the space, I will use it. Yeah, and also don't forget that if you're not using Chain of Command and you're like early, like while leveling and even early mapping, you can use Summon Skeleton. It got nerfed, but I mean, it's a free, like, you can put it in a 4-ling and it's still going to be like a free summon to help you for single target. If your single target is lacking, I think that being able to summon those skeleton is going to help a lot. So that's a lot of option. The only thing I'm kind of scared about is the sustain of this build, but like most minion builds, you don't need that much sustain because your minions are taking all the heat for you. I saw a lot of people playing animated weapon. They didn't seem to have need any kind of sustain whatsoever because the minion were doing it. So they just keep using their life flask. And if I do as much damage as I think I do, I'm not going to even need any other sustain in boss fight because they're just going to melt. But could be wrong. Like I said, this is just a quick put it together, a league start thing. It requires more testing, but there's no 3.10 up-to-date animated weapon build guide out there. So I'm just putting this out for you guys who are looking for something to like get your head around. It's gonna help you, and also I will, like I said, keep you posted for the updates as further as the league advance, and hopefully I can get something that can clear the entire game. But I don't see why we shouldn't be able to do everything smoothly, because it used to be shittier and people used to be able to do it, so it should be a breeze. If you got any question, ask in the comment. Please subscribe and like if you like this video, and keep posting on Twitch if you can't wait for me to post the videos. I'm gonna be updating it as soon as possible, but just join me on Twitch if you got any question for live stuff. Thank you guys. See you later.